Welcome all you Capricorns to your monthly reading for the month of May, and we've been looking at chakras each of the months starting at the beginning of this year. So here we are on month number 5, which is the Throat Chakra. We've got all the beautiful blues representing the color of the Throat Chakra. So for this reading, we're going to be looking into how and where can we communicate more clearly in our lives. We're going to start off with this beautiful deck called the Seeker Oracle and just see, in general, where the Creator would like you to know about your communication, the hows and the wheres for the month of May. All right, so for our Capricorns, what would you like them to know about their communication, please? Okay, they do want this one right here. And you have an unfair judgment. So beautiful message here. I'll read from the book on this one, but just intuitively. So this is with your communication. It's kind of twofold. I'm feeling like there's a split though, because this is a general reading. I'm like 70%. It's the communication that you have received from others where you have felt unfairly judged, where you have felt like they had high expectations or they don't understand the situation and they're not listening to your information that you're giving to them. They've made up their minds and this is where you're coming from. So that's like 70%. And the other 30% is where you are, that shoe's on the other foot, where you're the one that's doing that. But the beautiful thing about all of that is that every relationship that we're in is a reflection for ourselves. Everyone we interact with is a beautiful mirror reflecting back to us something that we want to share about ourselves or we want to see about ourselves. So when we're looking at these judgments that we feel we're getting from others, these unfair judgments, it's a beautiful message for us to go, how are we unfairly judging ourselves? And so that is like this clarity of this communication. I feel like for all of the Capricorns, it's about your self-talk, how you are unfairly judging yourself with your self-talk. So I love that. We're also going to read from the book here. Let me see. Yeah, it's right here. Humans are, by nature, judgmental, even those who don't believe they are judgmental. That's funny because I always say, I have judgmental thoughts about people who judge. And it is a certainty that one person will form a judgment of another for good or ill, and at times that judgment will be based on nothing more than an impression or a feeling or an opinion, right? There are times when we need to be judgmental. Using our good judgment can bring good into our lives. It can also bring toxic situations to an end or even save our lives. We make both good and bad judgments and base our behavior and decisions on them. Many an unfair judgment is born of an arrogant or ignorant belief that the person passing judgment knows better. They are a better quality of person, better educated, more informed, of higher social standing or breeding. Our internal wounds also predispose us to judge others. The unfair judgments we make can be a reflection of the emotional wounds we still harbor. We pass judgment upon others based on our insecurities. If a judgment passed by another causes us pain or inspires anger, it's often because we have passed an unfair judgment on ourselves already. Their words have shone a light upon a truth we do not want to accept. We all have a moral compass that helps us determine when one person is treating another in a way that is unethical, immoral, cruel, or unjust, or I'd just say unloving, right? Heed it and act. Stand by and support those who are judged unfairly. Remember, there will be times when we make hard but necessary decisions based upon our experience or how we have been treated. However, when we based our judgment on third-party gossip, rumor, or personal biases and insecurities instead of the facts, we risk making an unfair judgment that does others a great disservice or harm. In third-party gossip, I would even call that the news these days, right? Who knows what is really true? So trusting your heart, trusting that all these emotions that pop in, the self-talk that's coming in, is really, I feel like, a focus of it. We'll see more here too. If you're new to my channel, what I do each month is I also take a tarot deck and I split out the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana. And the major arcana represent, like this card, where it's just the energy for the month that the creator wants you to know about. So for this month, we're just going to see what else they want you to know about this communication, this clarity on how you can clarify it, where you can find clarity in the communication. So for our Capricorns, what else would you like them to know for the month of May around their communication, please? Okay, that's the one right there. Yep, and you have the Hierophant. So yeah, definitely the 5s, which this is the 5 in the major arcana, are about a transformation, a change of perception, this moving to another level, which the Hierophant is about, usually about a kind of a spiritual leader and a spiritual journey, which makes sense. So you definitely you have the keys that are given here for you to move beyond the thinking that you have had before. So there is this change in perspective of the self-talk and this change of perspective of yourself. We, of course, will dig in more here as we delve into the 4 suits of the minor arcana, which represent 4 different areas of your human experience here upon the planet. And the first suit that we'll look at is the Wands suit, which is the element of fire. This represents your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your passion. Can represent your spiritual energy, as well as your energy in general. So this will be what the creator wants you to know about your energetic adventure during the month of May. So they want that one right away. So you have the Knight of Wands. So this is very much a change of energy, this movement of energy, because all the knights are in pursuit of a quest, and the Knight of Wands is in pursuit of this, like the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands represents a new spark, a new energy, a new movement to happen within your life. So I kind of feel like this is just basically telling you a lot of, this way that you've been thinking, the self-talk, you're just tired of it. You're ready for this energetic change to happen in your life. You don't like feeling, how this person looks so, sad and down and judged and kind of feeling beaten down. You're ready for this new spark, this new energy. And it doesn't have to be anger energy like I talked about. This is just about this new spark that happens within, especially with this Hierophant card here. I really feel this is a spiritual spark that's happening. But let's also pull a card here from these Energy Oracle and to see what else the creator wants you to know about your energetic adventure for May. One more time. Okay. That one fell out, so we didn't have to do it one more time. Yeah. This is how you've been feeling, all tied up. And look, here's 32. You add those together, that's a 5 as well. So you've been feeling restricted, you've been feeling bound. And it's like you're afraid to act on things because you're just, all this judgment that you've felt from others, and as well, a lot of organized religions are full of a bunch of rules around your spirituality and who you're supposed to be and need to be and have to be. And so there's this kind of this tiedness that's coming, this restrictiveness that you're ready to let go of. I mean, look at the difference here. This is like freedom, right? I mean, look how happy the little night frog that this would normally be a horse, but it's like this giant toad. He's like, yeah, let's go. He's ready to leap out of this, I kind of just feel like this enclosure, and to leap out of it and just feel that freedom come. So I love that. And let's see what comes with this card too from the book here. Yeah, lack of motion or sense of personal freedom. Yeah, so this lack of motion is where you're coming from. And this card shows a woman tied up with vines around her wrist, her body, and her arms. And when you get this card, it represents a situation in your life where things seem to be severely stuck. A major drama may be going on around you, stopping you from moving forward, or it may be that some technicalities are blocking your way, perhaps waiting for a contract to be signed or an agreement to be made. Whatever's holding things up, the restrictions may be feeling quite oppressive at this time. And if this isn't technically the case for you, what's tying you up is your own personal stuff, right? Your self-talk. Look at your life and see how you can be your own jailer. Are you tying yourself up in some emotional angst or in a negative habit that you refuse to deal with? If so, it's time to cut the vines and make some serious changes now. You needn't live in your self-imposed jail any longer. This really reminds me of the Eight of Swords too. If we have it come out, that'll be amazing for you to see. But usually it shows someone blindfolded, bound, and trapped by the 8 swords that are enclosing it, which is basically this awareness that comes that it's your thoughts and your beliefs, your self-talk that are restricting you. So this is beautiful because the awareness of it is what allows you to help set yourself free. We're going to move into the next suit, which is the Pentacles, which is the earth element, which is your element. So nothing to be afraid of here. This is where you live and you breathe every day of your life. And this will be the only suit that deals with the outside world. This is your inner energy. We'll talk about your thoughts and beliefs and also your emotions. All 3 of those deal with inside here, but this will be what's on the outside. So all those other characters on stage with you in this beautiful, play that we're all starring in represent even your body, any props like your possessions, your bank accounts, your jobs, anything in the outside world. This is what this is. So what does the Creator want you to know about your physical adventure during the month of May? So for our Capricorns, what would you like them to know about their physical adventure in May, please? Okay, that one right there. You have the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's this giving and receiving message that comes with this give and take in life. And I kind of feel like we were talking about before, it's like this, what you're giving out is what you're receiving is what you're giving. So, there's this balancing here, the scales here that is coming into play, understanding that, yes, you did come here to experience this restrictiveness and to feel these emotions and these feelings so that you could understand your higher self more, your true self, that this, we're all these characters upon this earth, this human character, but that's just the character that we're playing. Behind this character is this actor, this amazing, powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And so you're balancing out the outside world with your inside world, and you're able to experience the outside while at the same time understanding both sides of that scale. There's also, I call this the codependency awareness card here, and I kind of feel like it's important to understand that these relationships that we have with others, whether it's romantic or family or friends or work or whatever it might be, we can be in a codependent relationship where, enablers in codependent relationships are individuals who have this sense of worth that's been conditioned within them from very young, that if you're not able to give to others, then you're not worth being around. Why would anyone want to be around you if you can't give them anything? And what that does is when you go into any type of relationship with anyone, you enter as like two adults usually, and you allow them to give, and you give, and you allow them to give a little, and then suddenly it switches from adult to parent-child. You become a mama bird, a mama or daddy bird, and then this is the baby bird, and like, I give to you. No, you can't give to me. I only can give to you. And we teach that person to only receive from us and not give back to us, because if they give back to us, then we feel like kind of scared out of our minds, because that means we're not needed, and then they're just going to go find someone else because they're giving to us, right? And so we give and we give and we give until we're exhausted, and then we give and we give and we give until we're resentful. And so that's where we end up in a relationship like that, feeling just exhausted and bitter and angry. And then this baby bird that we taught not to give to us, it wanted to give, and since we wouldn't receive from it, it'll give outside. It'll give to other friendships, relationships, pour themselves into their job and become workaholics, or going to the gym, or a hobby of some sort, or hanging out with all the friends and everything else. But it's done, the energy's invested out here. And so we learn through this situation that we find our wholeness and our completeness by looking inward, right? And so these thoughts and these beliefs that tied us to these codependent type relationships, once we untie ourselves from those thoughts and those beliefs, and we understand that the self-talk that's been telling us that we aren't worthy of those things, all this clarity comes. You move to this new level here, and you understand that you have everything that you need within you anyway. And then instead of you giving your life force away where you feel empty, you allow yourself to become a chalice, and you allow the unconditional love of the higher realms to fill you up and determine your worth. And then you fill up, and everyone else gets your overflow instead. So I love the message that's coming here with that, because I feel like a lot of the self-talk does have to do with your worth and your belief in what you're able to receive. We're also going to pull from the Oracle of E here as well, just to see what else they want you to know about your physical adventure in May. So what else for our Capricorns, please? What do you want them to know about their physical? Okay. There we go. Woot woot. Love it. Card number 43. So you have 23, and now you have 43. Let's see what comes with this card here. It's party time. Hang the streamers, invite your friends, put on your dancing shoes. There has never been a better time to fist bump everyone you know. Joy to the world. Smile till your face hurts. So yeah, there's definitely this awareness that comes from this. This helps set yourself free. And I love, because we talked about how sad this and depressed and down this person is, but when you find this worthiness from within yourself and transform this, it is the celebration. You do feel like you have won the lotto. You've won Powerball inside, because you found the love you've been searching for all along deep inside yourself. We'll continue on here, and we're going to look into the next suit, which is swords, which is the air element. And this represents your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. So it'll be what the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure during the month of May. So for our Capricorns, who are never in their minds at all, I'm a Capricorn rising, so I totally understand. Yeah, I feel like in this one too. Obviously, we're in our minds during May, which makes sense with these thoughts and these beliefs. Yeah, here's the 10 of Swords. You are so ready to let all of those expectations go. All those small t truths of all those supposed to be's, the should be's, the need to be's, the have to be's, the must be's. They've stabbed you in the back. They literally have betrayed you. All those things you thought needed to happen in order for you to be lovable and acceptable still made you feel exhausted, because this is, little kitty cat here is not dead. He's just exhausted from trying to fulfill all these expectations. So like we were talking about with these codependent relationships, you give and give and give until the point that you're exhausted. But this is a great news, because the Ten of Swords is about endings and new beginnings. You're ready to let those old thoughts and beliefs that have not served you, well, they've served you to teach you the opposites, right? To teach you what it feels like to experience conditional love, the fear of losing conditional love. So you can set that right next to that unconditionally loving feeling, and you can see that contrast between the two. Yep, and you have the Seven of Swords here, which is almost, the Eight of Swords is like you're becoming aware of what's keeping you bound and restrictive. The Seven of Swords is kind of like the thievery card, or the deceiver, the deception, and this does represent the thoughts and beliefs that are deceiving you. So this is an important card for you, because you are understanding those untrue, small t truths that are keeping you from moving forward, right? And this is a good card too, because it does show that, you're holding 5 swords. 2 of the swords you've left behind. So you have been working on this already. You've been releasing a lot of those thoughts and those beliefs that are no longer serving you, because you're ready for this new thing. So this mirror reflection that's been happening for you lately is bringing those awarenesses, all that self-talk that you, and those judgments and those things coming from the outside are really speaking loudly to you about your internal world. And I love that. Yes, because you have the King of Swords here. And this is beautiful, because here you are, whether you're male or female or how you identify, you are this king of your thoughts. You have the Ace of Swords here, which allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm, the spiritual realm, those things of unconditional love. And it allows you to use this to cut away these small t truths that no longer serve you. So in fact, I kind of want to put them right here just to show that you are overcoming and moving through this through the month of May, and you're feeling the power of your mind, because you really are taking control of all that self-talk that's going on in your mind. We're also going to pull from this Clarity deck, which is created by a group called Girls Gone Happy. So, like I said, regardless of how you identify, everyone's an honorary Girls Gone Happy for this reading. So we're going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure during the month of May. So what else for our Capricorns, please? What else do you want our Capricorns to know, please? Okay, I feel like they want these two. Any others? And last pass. Okay, they do want that one too. Okay. And we will start with this one. Animals, think about the role animals play in your everyday life, whether they're family, friends, or food. What can they teach you about what you are and are not centering in your daily life? What do you want to do with these lessons? And it's funny, when I first think of animals, animals, they don't worry. They are such living in the moment, living in the now beings. Squirrels, they instinctively will, start storing, nuts and stuff for the winter, and forget where they planted half of them. But they just follow the flow of the moment, and really coming back to the now. So there's this feeling of a lot of this self-talk and stuff is all about the past and the future, but coming back to the moment is such an important piece. And we have a topic card here. Yep. Focus in on love. So love is the core for this, loving yourself, understanding the unconditional love versus the conditional love. Yeah, because here you have weight. What or who is feeling heavy to you now? How is this extra weight keeping you from moving forward in the ways you need and want? What could bring lightness into this space for you? Yes, so all of this, wonderful energy that's coming through here, it all comes down to the love. And that's something else too, you know, when you say, what animal would represent unconditional love to you? Usually you'll think a dog of some sort, because they don't care. You could walk out the door and forget your keys and walk back in, and it's like you've been gone a century. They're like, oh my God, you're home. Oh my God, I love you. Blah, 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 right? And I used to think, you know, cats are more standoffish, but every cat I got, because I wanted to come home and just have a cat raise his head and go, hey, you're home. You know, because I wanted to be able to come in and relax, but my cats ended up acting like dogs. They'd come rushing in and purr and meow and rub up against my leg, and, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, but they have this beautiful love about them as well. So I love that, you know, message for that as well. Then we move into the final suit, which is cups, which represents the water element, and it's our emotions. So it's whatever the Creator wants us to know about our emotional adventure during this month of May regarding our communication, the clarity around it. And so for our Capricorns, what would you like them to know, please? What would you like them to know about their emotional adventure? Okay, here we go. Yep, you have the Two of Cups. So this is beautiful. I love this reflection. You know, we talked about in the beginning that the love that we search for and the love that we express and receive, it tells us a lot. You know, we have all these beautiful teachers in our lives that are constantly showing us what we want to feel about ourselves until we see it, right? What we want to know about ourselves until we know it. And the Two of Cups for me represents like the two sides of our human experience. You know, like talked about the character that we're playing and the actor behind the character. And so this love that we're searching for, I mean, is literally from up above. Here's this heart-shaped angel showing us, I think it's normally like Cupid, but it shows us the love that we're looking for, that we do find it within ourselves. Actually, they had me start this new free video series on YouTube called You Times Two, which is all about the adventure of getting to know the two of us that are living this human experience. And I'll have it linked in the description box below and a link to the playlist at the end of the video too. But I really feel like this is such a huge part of this understanding the self-talk and having this clarity come around our inner self-talk is by finding the love that we are truly searching for, because we all really are wanting the same thing in our lives. We all have a dream to be loved, and that's what it comes down to. Everything else is kind of an expression of that, but at the very root, it is all about love. So this is perfect. The last big stack we're going to pull from is the Spirit Junkie deck, and that can be also, you know, what the Creator wants us to know about our emotional journey during the month of May, but because it's the last card, it's also going to be a wild card. So it can represent whatever else the Creator wants you to know about the month of May regarding your communication or anything, but let's see what they have to say. So for our Capricorns, what's your final big message for them here? Okay, it's this one. All that I love is more important to me than all that I fear. So love, 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 love. There you go. And then from the heart, affirmations is our final little deck that we're going to pull from here. And these are just the final messages that the Creator has for all you Capricorns for the month of May for this reading. So what's your final messages for our Cappies? All our Capricorns. Okay, they do want this one. What else? Okay, and this one. What else? And that one. And that one. All right. So you have a total of 4. The first one is, I sing the beautiful song of my heart, clear and loud for all to hear. Yes, beautiful. My mind is open to new experiences that will transform my life. So here's the mind. You get transformation there. I see clearly actions of manipulation. I see the truth. So I really love that for this card here, because we're seeing how we manipulate, or that others try to manipulate us. One of the biggest ahas in my life was discovering that we are taught from the beginning of time this way of manipulate. The first is, if someone's doing something we don't want them to do, or they're not doing what we want them to do, we'll act hurt. Oh my goodness. And because we're taught that we're responsible for other people's emotions, when we act sad and hurt, other people are activated to go, oh no, don't cry, don't be upset. Okay, I'll change or do whatever. That's usually the first stage we'll attempt. Stage one, the acting hurt, the poor is me, right? And if that doesn't work, then we'll move into the anger and the aggressiveness, the bully, and we will raise our voice and throw a tantrum and rah, 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 try to get them to be out of fear to give us what we want. And sometimes that can go to extremes and become physical abuse. And if the sorrow and the anger doesn't work, then what we all fear is being rejected. And so that third thing is when we reject or are rejected. So we slam the phone down, or in these days we hang up, right? The olden days you used to slam down the receiver. Or we'll give them the cold shoulder or silent treatment if we're living with them or whatever, right? So sorrow, anger, and then rejection. And then if that doesn't work, we'll go back to start over again, right? I can't believe when I walked out of the room, you didn't come after me, or when I hung up on you, you didn't try calling me back. Or, I was giving you the cold shoulder and you didn't even try to warm me back up, rah, 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 rah. And so chances are you'll recognize when it has happened to you, right? And I think that has lot to do with this, feelings and this lowness that we are having, this self-talk that's coming in. But we will also realize that we do that to others because that's what we've all been taught. So awareness allows you get to see the capital T truths of those situations, of these codependent relationships, of those, conflicting relationships. And then your final card is, I communicate clearly and honestly, making powerful connections with others. Isn't that hilarious? This whole reading was about how and where can you communicate more clearly. And this is showing you that, yes, you're able, through all this experience with the self-talk, with you finding this power and this love within you, you are able to communicate more clearly, because you do move to this new level of how you feel about yourself, of how you talk to yourself. And because how you're talking to yourself has this clarity that comes in with it, you also start speaking differently because it starts flowing out of you differently. So I love this for you. Right, Capricorns, if you want more messages of love from above, in addition to these monthly readings for each zodiac sign, I also put out weekly energy updates for each of the elements, like earth signs, water signs, etc., and a few other types of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those messages, if you give this video a little thumbs up, click this like button, also click the subscribe button, and that'll give you access to this notification bell. When you go in there, if you select the all option, then you will be notified of any new videos that come out for this channel. Also, doing any of those things helps spread the love, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, or subscribe to a channel, those things makes the YouTube algorithm just so happy and giddy. It wants to share the videos of that channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you are looking for even more specific information for your specific life, I do currently offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, beautiful Capricorns, as you go through this wonderful month and each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing month. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, but in the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.